All right, we're going to talk about the season 10 rules with none other than UpDog. What's up, dog?
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me.
Does anybody ever do that joke? Have you had any success with it ever?
Never.
So I'm gonna be proud of you. You placed first in the tournament, and you were very close the last round. So we are going to go over your season 10 first impressions with the room rules. And so we're going to do two things. We're going to go over your room rules, and then we're going to go over my defensive strategy, which did not work. And then we will talk about what I could have done differently and maybe would have won. So first things first, we're going to talk about room 1. What did you learn about room 1?
It's all about being first, like having your character go first so that they can get those extra assists if there's not an echo. So it kind of forces people, if they're attacking into your room, to use echo. And yeah, it's just all about that first burst damage and burn them down.
Yeah, so everybody's a striker, and echo does shut this down. I did use echo, so absolutely. Now, I used in this room, what did I use? Well, this was based off of a suggestion from you, which was Extreme, Black Knight, and then you are showing on your infographic Dormammu, Pre-Taunting Tank, Noir, Gore. Boy, that's an amalgam, if that's the right word. That's a collection. It's eclectic. Yeah. So tell me what you're thinking about with your room up here.
Okay, so we got the Zugs to pre-taunt to protect Old Man Logan. Noir's going to go first, most likely, to get that first attack. Everybody's going to assist him, and the Dorm is there so that way, in case Old Man Logan dies early, he can come right back if he doesn't get off his special in time. And Gore is there because normally Tangled Web will try to counter this team, and Gore is there to cancel out the Tangled Web counter because he'll just destroy Tangled Web.
So assist.
Yes.
Someone bringing echo in here kind of shuts down the assists, but then you're down a man, right? So that's a thing. Right. So it's going to require a pretty good team. How would you counter this team if you were to guess?
Oof, probably Cabal.
Yeah. But yeah,
probably Cabal.
And so anytime the answer is Cabal, that's a W.
Because
it's a W, right? When someone says Cabal. Okay, we're going to go to room 2. Room 2 wasn't as impactful at all as I thought. On turn, bury yourself for 5% of the character's max health, flip offense down to self. I mean, this is probably as close to a nothing room, would you say?
Yeah, pretty close to it.
Okay,
yeah.
So I did Illuminati there, which was a complete waste. I think Illuminati should be on offense because it's just going to get countered by mirror match, right? There's no value to putting Illuminati on defense. It did nothing for me this entire tournament. It was not great. You are talking about doing out of time with Quicksilver and Black Knight. What's the thinking there?
Oh, they get a little bit of barrier, so they'll get advantage a little bit of the room, but it's just kind of a tougher team that will soak up some efficiency, hopefully,
Yeah, and what I've found was what people going against Black Knight are going to either go full out. It's going to require a pretty good team to get through that Black Knight, right? Or they're going to cheese it with like New Warriors, right? I mean, that's also a W, right? So Black Knight with any like random character is probably double. Okay, Annihilators with Super Scroll. Now, I got to tell you, this was the biggest pain. A lot of people were doing that in room 6. I'm just going to say probably Mephisto is going in room 6. I haven't looked at your thing yet, but I'm guessing that Mephisto will be in room 6. We didn't have Mephisto in the tournament. So talk about Annihilators with Super Scroll.
Yeah, room 6 is a really good spot for him too. I just put him in room 3 just to maybe take advantage a little bit of the expose mechanic going on in that room. And I threw Vol in there because she doesn't expose as well. So it's a really hard team to beat, as we found out in the tournament. You need like an Illuminati or some crazy mix of APOC and some other characters, and you just got to hope this scroll doesn't delete you before you can get to him. So
yeah, and so what we found that kind of worked was Cabal, fast villain like Zemo, and Ares. kind of worked, but this was a
Kind of worked,
mess of a team.
Yeah.
And I know that you're trying to use Vol there, but I think you could just use Ultimus. I like the idea of saving Gore for offense or in another room, because Gore has a lot more flexibility as utility character for sure. Anyways, this is a team to watch out for, and the reason why it's so good is that the 3-piece Annihilators with Gladiator prevents vulnerables, where the natural counter to this is going to be Cabal. Well, Cabal will not, well, Cabal will work, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? Just not as well. And so then this becomes Illuminati, right?
Yep.
So this kind of forces an Illuminati. All right. Room 4, you had some good luck with this with Lady Destrite and the boosted stats. You got one that says 400,000 there, but I'm going to guess that everybody else has got like 800,000. Was that pre-stat increase or something?
No, that I just haven't built her up quite big enough yet. This is from my live roster. So, but yeah, she has a natural built-in dodge mechanic, and when you dodge in this room, you get stealth and you get extra damage. So if you're getting extra damage on top of a rework character with the new meta stats, it became a big problem for a lot of people in the tournament that I faced. So,
all right. And so, yeah, this room here is going to be about stealth. I think one of the possible solutions that people are going to consider is going to be something with Dawkin. This did suck up a big team, but it largely wasn't super effective. People just ran a big team into it, or, you know, what I mean by big team, like APOC, Illuminati, or Cabal. Those are the big 3 teams on offense right now. And there was no problems with that there. Let's talk briefly. We talked about this a lot in your video about Orcus. Where do you see Orcus inside of Crucible?
if you're going to have less than 5 stars, then I wouldn't even bother. I mean, Lady Deathstrike is probably the only option for defense for Crucible, and that room 4 is great for her. She's going to be the queen in that room. So
yes, they have boosted stats, but we were playing at 7/7s, which nobody's going to have, and you were able to run over them with new warriors. That means it's not a thing, right? I mean, unless there's some secret team like Juicy took out Sentinel, put in Black Knight, you know, is that actually better than what you're thinking about doing in room 2?
I mean, I used new warriors with that Black Knight team, and I almost won. So he made them better, but not like an Annihilator Sus type level team. I'd still say they're like a B+ team.
Yeah,
and at 7 red. Too,
so my suspicion is that the 5-piece didn't present a lot of, I don't know, like maybe they're going to be used on offense, but as far as defense goes, I just don't see it unless there's some removal of one character and addition of another character that makes them a lot better. But the jury's out on this team. Of course, it's just you and I and a couple handful of players that have tested this. When the community gets their hands on this, then we'll know for sure. Right now, we're speculation. Room 5, which is the hero room. I went Noir. Noir does add value elsewhere, 1,000%. And you went pre-taunting, sassy pants, Sasquatch. But yeah, this room here is just about heroes. What are you thinking?
Yeah, Spider Sight is going to be great in here. They get the deflect, so whenever an enemy hits them with a deflect, then they'll clear negative effects from them. They'll be putting defense down on their attackers, so it's just going to make them that much harder to beat in that room.
Yeah, I mean, I did play against the team that you put there, and I think I did big time Spider-Man. Secret Defenders, and it was fine. It was fine. It wasn't super tricky, but I just think that the problem with Spider Society is if you lose, there's not going to be a lot of good solutions to clean up with outside of maybe new warriors, but I mean this can be like they don't clear the room if they don't back out like with Secret Defenders, right? It's a tricky room, right?
Yeah, and since we only use 7 red on the test server, you can see my team there has all full 3 diamonds, 3 purple ISO, so it changes things a lot.
Well, it's a team that scales, and so my experience was at sevens, but it feels like everybody I play against has got 2 or 3 diamonds on the entire team. It's definitely a beast of a team. And then lastly, room 6, which is Dorky's room, and I'm going to call it now. I think this is going to be the room 1 and room 6 are going to be the 2 important rooms. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So basically, these are packs or scourges that were in some of the trials, and Dorky loves them. And so characters drop below 50% gain trauma. When this character uses special ability, gain ability block. When this character uses an ultimate ability. I'm thinking that this is going to be something scary. Like, this is what a lot of people did yesterday was Super Scroll Annihilators, but I'm thinking this is going to be a Mephisto room. You've got you got another team here. What was that? Just put whatever you want.
So my graphics, I try to aim for most, like 95% of the players, right?
Okay.
So 95% of the players don't have Mephisto.
All right,
So that's why I didn't put them on the graphic. But yes, Mephisto be great in 6. I think he'll be great in 1. I mean, he's pretty much great anywhere, right? So, but yeah, the Mephisto Annihilators team, that's going to be really nasty in that room.
Yeah, I actually, what I'm thinking is Mephisto Annihilators and maybe save Super Scroll for offense and then do something tricky. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It's going to be a weird season for sure. So I'm calling it now. Room 1 and room 6.
Those are the key rooms. Yep.
And then you next season get to name the room.
Yes.
What are you thinking, or do you have any ideas? Because the way the process works though is you don't just get to do whatever you want. You basically you submit something and they're like, yeah, that's not going to work, or but what is the direction that you're thinking of for your room rule?
Well, I really liked how Dorky did a poll for his. I'm the people's envoy, so I'm just going to let the people decide on the rule and probably the name too, if they'll let me do the name as well. But yeah, I mean, I really like the Scourge thing, like Dorky did.
Yeah.
There's a certain Scourge that I really like that hopefully, or no, I'll put that in the poll as well. But
and I think
I'm just going to.
I think
data from people.
They're open to the Scourge thing because it's already coded, right? It's not like they have to code something new. And so if it's a Scourge, and then I know one of the ones that did well in Dorky Dad's poll was a War Room. I don't know if they'll do that or not, right? I mean, we'll have to see, right? That's also a thing.
I don't like that one.
Okay, so it won't be that one. All right, so go vote for it. Well, you're gonna have a couple of weeks before you start that. All right, anything you want to say before we go?
Just make sure to check us out on Twitch, where me and you both stream our Crucibles, and I help anybody who wants to come by that needs help with their attacks. You can check me out.
Sounds good. Bye for now.
See ya.